Because fall is here, let's propagate some lavender. Hi guys, so we are in the middle of autumn, we are in October, and now is the perfect time to take cuttings from lavender. And I've made another clip in the spring on how to propagate lavender in the spring. And before I'm going to show you how we are doing it now in the fall, let me show you how those plants are looking right now. So we made two ways of propagating lavender: in trays or directly in the ground. And I've made over there a propagation area. And if you don't know about that, I'm going to link the clip at the end of this video with how to propagate lavender in the spring. And yeah, let's go there and let's talk about how those beautiful plants are looking right now. So these are the cuttings that we planted in the spring. Would you look at them? Look how big and beautiful they look. And those from behind, those are imperial gem, and these ones are Mayet. It's a different type of Mayet. It's a dark purple one. But the idea is, look how easy these plants were propagated. So you know that I have a clip about how to propagate lavender in the spring, and now we are doing the propagation in the fall. And look, it's as simple as that. You don't have to do almost anything, okay? Just put a weed mat, make some holes, dig the soil underneath, and just plant your cuttings. And you can see how big these plants are right now. Look at this one. So I have a clip where I'm showing you that we already pruned them once, but look at this. So this is not even a year. This is like 6 months growth. Imagine that. So it's very easy. But now we are going to propagate the lavender in the fall, because I'm going to tell you why do I do this. And now, because this one, this type of propagation was a success, I am going to use even right here this part for me as a propagation area. And I'm just waiting the temperatures to drop a little, and when this happens, I'm gonna dig out all the cuttings from here, all the plants actually, and plant them in our field where we have dead plants or missing plants or whatever, or expand. And probably some of them I'm going to sell them, bare roots, yeah. But you'll have to wait until the temperatures drop like under 15 Celsius degrees. So yeah, this was how to propagate lavender in the spring. Now let's talk about how to propagate lavender in the fall. It's very easy to propagate lavender even in the fall. But if you don't have a greenhouse, because this is very important, if you don't have a greenhouse, maybe you should wait until the spring, or you should do the propagation of the lavender until November, and depends on where your zone is, because we are in 6B, and now the temperatures are still very high for this time of the year. I think we have 18-20 Celsius degrees, and but nevertheless, if you propagate them now, these cuttings, even if you stuck them in the ground, or even if you put them in a propagation tray and you let them outside, they will still have chances to make roots until probably somewhere December, when they are going to just go into dormant for the winter. But because I have a greenhouse, and if you have a greenhouse, it's very okay for you to take cuttings right now, because if you propagate now and if you put them in the trays in the greenhouse, the plants for certain, these cuttings for certain will make roots. And because in the greenhouse the plants never really go to dormant full. They are still growing, but very slow, but the roots are still going to develop. And in the spring, when the heat is coming, the plants will just explode, and they will grow very well and very fast, because they are already having a root system established. And that's why it's okay for you to take cuttings right now. But if you take the cuttings in the spring, and even one advantage for me is, because if I take the cuttings right now
they will make roots, and in the spring I will plant them, and until the lavender festival the plants will grow and I can sell them. But if I do that in the spring, probably it will take almost 2 months for the plant to develop roots, and until the plant is growing I will not be able to sell it at the lavender festival. So this is one of my reasons why I do propagation on lavender in the fall. So yeah, if you have a greenhouse, I really recommend you do the propagation right now. Okay, so the process of propagating lavender is very easy and very similar to what I do in the spring, because look, this plant hasn't been pruned, and I'm going to keep some of the plants that we have here at the farm, especially for spring propagation, because otherwise I will prune them, and I have a lot of reason for you to prune the lavender. I have a clip about that, check it out. And but remember, now these plants are hardwood cuttings, and this is very easy. Just take a cutting, and this is what your cutting is looking like, you see. So this is hardwood. This is not semi-hardwood, this is already hardwood. So because this is hardwood, you don't have to cover it. But let's take some more cuttings like this, and then we'll go into the greenhouse, and I'm going to show you what I will do over there, and we'll talk more, okay? So let's take more of these. Okay guys, so we are in the greenhouse, and what are we going to do with our little cutting that we took from the field? But first of all, let me show you how all the other cuttings are doing, because I planted some cuttings 2 weeks ago for me just to check if I can do cuttings. And yeah, I can do it because the cuttings didn't wilt. Sometimes I do check like this if I can do cuttings, but because of extreme heat, the cuttings will just wilt. But now they are just fine because it's cold in the night, and the cuttings, it's hard for them to wilt because they are hardwood. Let me show you how they are looking. So this is how my cuttings are looking right now. So I have several hundreds here, and different varieties. That one is in the shoebox, but I won't cover it because you don't need it right now. So I have a couple of more in other place. And yeah, look what I have here. This is all lavender buds. Yeah, this is the product that we are making sachets from it. Yeah. So these are the cuttings. So as you can see, I've done a couple of hundred cuttings, and probably I will do more of them right now. Okay, so this is the last cutting for today. Probably the next time when I'm going to the farm, I'm going to take new cuttings and plant more. I intend to do probably somewhere around 2000 cuttings this year. And yes, this is the advantage of you planting the cuttings in the fall if you have a greenhouse, because what's going to happen, the cuttings will make roots probably somewhere around December, and into January they will still grow because they are not going to get full dormant, because that's what happens in the greenhouse. It's going to still be warm inside, and probably I'm going to change the pots for them in somewhere around January, February, and in March, April, when the sun is going to heat even in the day, the greenhouse, the plants will grow and they will explode, and I will have a lot of lavender plants for my festival, for the Lavender Festival. So a lot of people ask me what do I use as a substrate for what type of soil I use for the cuttings. Well, I use half peat and half perlite. This is what works best for me for lavender. I use different mixes, but only for cuttings, remember, because this soil doesn't have any nutrients whatsoever. So if I'm doing like different type of cuttings like hydrangea, I'm doing there probably 2 peat moss and 1 perlite, and after that I'm going to change and I'm going to do a healthy soil, a soil that has food for the cuttings. But for right now, what I have here and what I saw that works best for my cuttings, for my lavender cuttings. Remember, just for lavender cuttings, because they really need moisture, but in the same time they really need good drainage. So this is half peat moss, half perlite. Okay, so I'm planting this over here, and after this, just give them a good water and put them somewhere in the greenhouse. Don't cover them, just let them like that. Okay, so this is how to propagate lavender in the fall. If you don't have a greenhouse, I recommend you wait until the spring and then take your cuttings and put them exactly like this. I have a clip about how to propagate lavender in the spring. You can watch that one, and I hope it's helpful. Or if you still want to propagate lavender this fall, just take a longer cutting like I showed you in the beginning of the clip and stick that into the dirt. Let it there, and in the spring that cutting will make roots for sure 100%. Okay, so thank you again for watching this video. If you like it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me to do these clips about lavender and everything else. For me it's a passion, and I just enjoy this, and I enjoy talking with everybody around the world. So if you have comments, if you have questions, post them. I will answer each and every single one of your questions. Okay, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and grow lots of plants and lavender, of course. See you guys. Bye.